Okay, this is a double purchase line set system. Very similar to the single purchase with a couple key differences that play into how it functions. Just like with a single purchase or a hemp system, you will see that we have a batten. Coming off of this batten, we have our lift lines. On this batten we have two lift lines that go up to our loft blocks, and we're going to pretend that this here is the fly loft of our theater. So these little pulleys would actually be way high up, probably 50-60 feet up minimum. That these aircraft cables would be going up to our loft blocks. Then they're going to come over to our head block here, and just like with the single purchase, we've got our arbor, in this case a bucket, and we've got our hand line. And again, if this was a real fly system, these two would be switched, so the hand line would be over here closer to the stage for you, but we're going to pretend because I have to make do with what we've got. So we've got our arbor, we've got our tension block down here at the bottom. All of this would be considered the head block. Now here's the big difference between a single purchase and a double purchase system. Once our lift lines come over here to the head block, they go down to the arbor, just like they would with a single purchase, but then they go right back up again, and then they would terminate up here by the head block. So hopefully you've already watched the pulley videos that I've told you to watch, and you will notice that this gets us a 2-to-1 advantage here. The problem with this 2-to-1 advantage is we've actually taken it and flipped it in reverse. So instead of us only needing to lift half of the weight, we're lifting double the weight because this is the pulley that is taking all of the load. So if we've got 1,000 pounds over here, that's going to mean we're pulling 1,000 pounds here and 1,000 pounds here, which leaves us with this pulley doing double duty of 2,000 pounds. Which sounds silly. Why would we ever want to make us lift more weight than we have to? But this is the one key advantage to a double purchase system, is say for instance, in my nice big tall grid here, I've got all my fly lines here on the stage right side, but over on that stage right wall, I've got some doors that lead off to dressing rooms and lobbies and all sorts of stuff right down here on the floor level, which means I do not have the space for a full fly system for this arbor to go all the way down to the ground because I've got all those access doors over here. That is the key reason why we would put in a double purchase system, is because by doubling the weight, we only have to go half of the distance. So my tension block down here on the floor would actually be, say, like 10 or 15 feet up, somewhere around where a mid-rail might be, is actually where the base of my fly system would have to be. And that is to give us that extra room underneath of our fly system in order to get over into dressing rooms and things of that nature. So, as you can see, just with the single purchase system, if I go down on the hand line, my arbor goes down. If I go up on the hand line, my batten goes up, not my arbor. So, pulling down, batten goes down. Pulling up, batten goes up. Now, I'm going to try to keep my hand right in line with the batten here. So, as you can see, as I start moving, even though my hand has only gone maybe 1.5 feet-ish, my batten has traveled 3 feet. That is the trade-off that we have for a double purchase fly system. So in this instance, I'm going to fly my batten all the way down to the ground. And then I'm going to attach my scenery piece here, which in this case happens to be a little bucket full of steel. And I have weighed this. It weighs just over 9 pounds. So because it weighs just over 9 pounds, that means I have to put about 18 pounds worth of counterbalance into my arbor here. So in this case, I've got a whole bunch of scrap steel. So I'm going to put those on. You can see that sunk down a little bit, so we're close to getting in balance. Put all of this in, and this is the downside to a double purchase system, is I've got twice the weight over here. That's twice as much I have to put into my arbor. But now that this is done, if I take my hand line and I start to go up with it, you can see that my batten goes up. And as I go down, which does have a good bit of weight to it, you can see that that has traveled twice as far as my hand line. So that way I can have half the distance over here off stage where I might need stuff to move around underneath of it. As you can tell, that is a lot of weight, and that is a lot of momentum that you need to get moving when you're running a double purchase system. If you have it balanced well, that should help and keep things moving equally, and clearly mine is not a frictionless system. It's got a lot of errors in, or not errors, just friction built into the system based off of what it is. But again, as you can see, I do have a system that runs fairly smoothly and will do exactly what I need it to do. And then I could still go and lock it off down here at the base where my rope lock would be to keep this from moving. So this would be the key advantages and disadvantages of a double purchase system. Okay, just in case you couldn't see from the far away video, I'm going to do a close-up and point out some key items of the double purchase fly system to you. First one is this here represents our batten. This would go the full length of the stage all the way across. As you can see, we have our scenery piece, which happens to be a fairly heavy scenery piece, but it's okay. It's rated for what we've got going on. So once you come up off of our batten, you have our lift lines here. This lift line would go to a loft block, which is up here in our loft. Once it gets to our loft block, it is redirected all the way across to our head block. And you can see we've got where another one of our lift lines goes to a loft block, then meets up to it here at the head block. From the head block is redirected down to the arbor. Once it gets to the arbor, it hits another set of blocks, and then it goes back up to the head block where it terminates. And then we've got our arbor here. It has its hand line, goes all the way up and over. This would be a part of that same head block, but I can't show all that here. Hand line goes down. There's a whiny dog. Hand line goes down, hits our tension block here at the bottom, then it goes back up and terminates to the bottom of our arbor. For a double purchase system, there would typically be a few more pulleys here, but not easy to represent in a garage. So this is what I can make do with what we've got, and that's enough for you to understand that you've got double the weight in here than what you have there. And that is how the system balances out because of how we have our double purchase system set up here.